Hey guys, welcome back to Fiction Flux. Hope you're all doing well. Now let's get into it. The file lands on the table. Hawks doesn't pick it up right away. He already knows what's inside. He's been doing this long enough to recognize the weight of an order before he reads it. The Commission sends files like this with a specific kind of silence attached to them. The silence that means this one is different. He opens it. He sees her name. Midoriya Izumi. And something shifts behind his eyes that hasn't moved in a very long time. Here's what you need to understand about Keigo Takami. Hawks has been the Commission's weapon since he was a child, not a hero, a weapon with a hero's smile. He infiltrated the League of Villains. He fed intelligence to people who used it in ways he wasn't allowed to question. He buried the parts of himself that asked uncomfortable things because asking was a luxury that operatives didn't get. He was good at the burying. He was the best at it. Every mission before this one had a version he could live with. Surveillance on a rising villain. Intelligence gathering inside organizations that were genuinely dangerous. Things he could frame when the lights were out and the room was quiet as necessary. This one he cannot frame that way. The order is simple. The Commission has flagged Midoriya Izumi as a Category 1 containment priority. Her research into One for All's history has reached a depth they did not anticipate. She has been asking questions that lead somewhere the Commission has spent decades making sure nobody goes. Hawks is ordered to monitor her, report everything, and if her research reaches a specific threshold, a threshold defined in clinical language that means stop her, he is authorized to act. He closes the file. He does not submit his acknowledgement for 6 hours. That is the first lie. The second lie comes 3 days later. The Commission wants a progress report on her research direction. Hawks submits one. It is accurate in every detail except the most important one. He documents her training, her patrol patterns, her interactions with classmates and teachers. He does not document the notebook. The 47th notebook, specifically, the one she has been keeping separately from the others. The one with the different handwriting, because the different handwriting happens when she is not writing for documentation. Hawks has seen what's in it. Not by reading it, by watching her work. By understanding, after years of reading people the way most people read rooms, what the specific quality of her focus meant when she was in it. She had found something. Not the secret, not yet, but the shape of the space where the secret lived, the outline of an absence, the specific contour of information that had been removed rather than never collected. She had found the edges of what the Commission had erased. Hawks does not put this in the report. He submits the report. He sits in his apartment. He thinks about a girl who has been quirkless for 15 years and who received a power she was told was a gift and who has been asking, with the specific careful precision of someone who notices everything, why some of the gift's history doesn't add up. He thinks about what the Commission will do when she finds the answer. He does not sleep. By week 3, the lying has become structural. Hawks is good at lying. He has been lying professionally since he was 17. But there is a specific cost to lying for someone rather than against them, and the cost is that it requires you to care about the outcome in a way that operational lying does not. He cares about the outcome. He is not fully comfortable with how much he cares about the outcome. He submits a third report, then a fourth, each one accurate on the surface, each one missing the thing that would move her from monitored to contained. He tells himself this is temporary, that he is buying time, that he will figure out the right move before the Commission figures out what he is doing. He is running out of time. She notices on a Tuesday. He does not know what specifically tipped her. He thinks it might be the patrol overlap. He had been adjusting his patterns to be near her more often without making it obvious, and she notices everything, and he had underestimated how much she noticed. She finds him on the roof of the agency building after an evening patrol. She says, "You've been following me for 3 weeks." He says, "I patrol this district." She says, "You patrol 6 districts. You've been in this one every day for 3 weeks. That's not a patrol pattern, that's surveillance." He says nothing. She says, "Hawks." The way she says it is not angry. It is the specific tone of someone who has been doing the math for a while and has arrived at the answer and is giving him one chance to confirm it before she accepts the answer as real. He says, "You should go home." She says, "No." She says, "Tell me why you're watching me." He looks at her. She is standing on the roof in the evening with her notebook under her arm and the specific expression of someone who is not afraid and is not pretending not to be afraid. She is genuinely not afraid. He thinks she has no idea what she found. He thinks she is going to find out. He thinks the commission is going to find out that she's finding out. He says, "How close are you?" She blinks. She says, "To what?" He says, "The thing you've been researching, the gap in the documentation, the part that doesn't add up." She is very still. She says, "How do you know about the gap?" He says, "Because the people who created the gap sent me to watch you find it." The roof is quiet. She says, "The commission." He says, "Yes." She says, "They sent you to watch me." He says, "Yes." She says, "And the reports you've been sending?" He says, "Incomplete." She says, "You've been protecting me." He says, "I've been buying time." She says, "Why?" He looks at her. He says, "Because what you're about to find, it changes everything. Not just for you, for every person who has ever held one for all. And the commission knows what it is, and they have been making sure nobody else ever does." She says, "Tell me." He says, "Midoriya." She says, "Tell me." He says, "One for All was not created the way you were told." She says, "What do you mean?" He says, "All for One didn't just accidentally create a quirk that could be passed and grow stronger. The transfer mechanism, the way it accumulates, the way it stores the remnants of every previous holder, that was designed. The Commission has had documentation since the second generation of holders proving that One for All's accumulation isn't a natural property of the quirk." She says, "Designed by who?" He says, "That's the part the Commission has been burying for 60 years. She says, "Hawks." He says, "The accumulation was designed to have a limit, a ceiling, a point at which the accumulated power reaches a specific threshold and the holder." His phone goes off. They both look at it. The notification on the screen is 3 words from a Commission-encrypted channel. The 3 words are, "Report status now." He looks at the phone. He looks at her. She says, "They know." He says, "They've been running a verification check on my reports. They figured out the gaps." She says, "How long do we have?" He says, "Not long." She says, "Then finish the sentence." He looks at her. He makes a decision. He says, "The holder was designed to become controllable, at full accumulation. One for All was built with a failsafe that the Commission inherited from someone who understood exactly what a weapon that powerful would eventually need." She says, "Controllable by who?" He says, "By whoever held the control mechanism, which the Commission has had since Generation 4. She says, "They can control One for All." He says, "They can control the person holding it." The silence on the roof is the specific silence of something enormous landing. She says, "Me." He says, "You specifically, at full power, yes." She says, "And they sent you to make sure I didn't find out." He says, "Yes." She says, "And instead you told me." He says, "Yes." She says, "That burns your cover." He says, "Completely." She says, "You knew that when you started talking." He says, "Yes." She says, "Hawks." He says, "I know." She says, "Why?" He looks at her. He says, "Because I have been a weapon my entire life, and you are the first person I have ever watched choose to find the truth, knowing it was going to cost something, and I am done being the thing that stops people from doing that." She looks at him. The phone goes off again. And again. He picks it up. He opens the channel. He types 4 words. He types, "I'm done lying to you." He sends it. He puts the phone in his pocket. He says, "We have maybe 20 minutes before they redirect someone." She is already opening the notebook. She says, "Then start from Generation 4. He says, "Yes." He says, "Okay." He starts talking. And somewhere across the city, in a building that does not officially exist, a notification lands on a screen. A senior commission official reads 4 words. She picks up a different phone. She dials a number that Hawks does not have. She says 2 words into it. She says, "Activate containment." That's it for today. Part 2 is coming, and trust me, you are not ready for what happens next. Subscribe and like and share this video with every MHA fan you know. Drop in the comments what you think the Commission's next move is. See you in part 2.